Yeah, so I think that starts with identifying what's important to you. What sort of data impacts you as an organization and your people. If you look at a bunch of different data feeds coming in, you have to determine, you have to filter out some of the noise. What is important to you? What do you want to act on? As an example, like social media can be a great tool to get information about what's going on in the world, but you need to vet it, make sure it's credible information, and you can use AI to help with some of that. But like at Everbridge, for example, we have live risk analysts that are analyzing this data to determine, is this a real threat? Do I need to notify our customers and organizations about this so that they can take action on it?
And I agree. I think that the first thing that organizations need to understand is what are the assets that you are trying to protect? Is that my employees? Is that my buildings, my facilities, my trucking locations? It all comes into play in figuring out what do I need to protect? And then what is the technology that I can use to protect those individuals and that asset?
Yeah, one thing that I actually do want to bring up about this is technology is obviously great. It helps in a lot of different areas. It helps us identify those critical events. It helps us respond to those critical events. It helps us communicate with the people that we need to and manage a response. But one of the things that we always talk about is we want to be careful with the proliferation of the amount of technology that an organization is using as well. Because if I get informed, if I'm a risk analyst, I work in my GSOC, right? And I get informed that there's a tornado that's impacting somewhere in the Midwest. How long is it going to take for me to understand what do I have in that area that's important to me and that I need to take care of? And if you think about all the different technologies, you got building management systems, you have access control systems, you have HR systems that break down addresses of employees, and you need to start pulling bits and pieces from each of those disparate systems. That takes time, and it's ultimately going to lead to a delay in the response that you're trying to provide for your people. So we use this term a lot at Everbridge. We call it a common operating picture, and obviously technology is there to provide that. And so that if you do have all those disparate systems, I think it is important to be able to leverage data from each of them individually so that we have a clear common operating picture with data points across those different systems that will ultimately allow us to respond faster and more effectively.